Okay, so let's see what can go wrong with this process. Hello everyone! Ever tried to transfer a photo and ended up with a smudgy mess? Or maybe just didn't transfer at all? You're not alone. And the good news is that most of these issues are super fixable. In today's video, we're going to see why photo transfers fail, and more importantly, how to fix them. So let's do it. Let's fix our photo transfers. Inkjet transfers can give beautiful, soft, and sometimes grungy results. But they can also be a bit fussy. Here are some of the most common issues. Are you using a heavy type of paper or even photo paper? That's not a good idea. This type of paper doesn't really work. What we really want is a cheap, thin printer paper, and the thinner the better. The thin paper will be much easier to remove. I definitely recommend this brand of paper, and there's a link to it below. And maybe you're actually using the wrong printer. Basically, inkjet transfers only work with dye-based ink printers. So if you're using the latest technology for digital printing, namely pigment-based inkjet printer, well, the ink likely won't transfer at all. This really sucks, so let's move on to the next issue. You might not be using enough medium. Pretty much you need to apply a generous amount of the transfer medium. Otherwise, the areas that don't have enough medium simply won't transfer and you'll get patches with no image. So don't be shy with it and make sure you apply a generous amount of medium. Okay, so now on to our next problem. The transfer didn't have enough time to dry. We pretty much need to let the transfer have enough time to set. Rushing this part will create a smudgy mess like this. Now let's see our last issue that I could think of, and I call it paper removal panic. Transferring requires gentle rubbing for good results, so don't go scrubbing like you're cleaning a cast iron pan. In fact, I often skip the rubbing altogether. I peel off the top layer and I let the varnish do the rest. The varnish is the magic. We can all use some magic in our artwork, right? So here's quickly how I do it to get a good inkjet transfer. I apply a good amount of the matte medium. I place my photo face down onto the wet medium and I press it down to create a good bond between the print and the surface. I also like to use the handle of my scissors to press it down even further. I let the transfer dry a little for about a minute or two, but I don't let it completely dry. Next, I roll and peel off the top paper, being careful to not remove the image itself. Now, obviously, there's still some paper left over, but don't worry, we will get rid of it when we apply the protective finish, the varnish. So be gentle and kind to your transfer and it will reward you with reward you. It's a hard one to say. And it will reward you with a beautiful result you can be proud of. You will be so proud of it. You will be as proud as I am. I'm very proud of it. And if you love image transfers, you're going to love my book, the new mixed media photography book. It's available on Amazon, so make sure you check it out soon. And if you prefer the digital PDF version, check out the ebook. It's available on my website, nitsacreativestudio.com. Thank you. Now let's look at laser transfers. I'm looking at it. If you have a laser printer at home, that's great. If not, you can always use a toner-based photocopy. They are a favorite of mine. They are archival and very durable, but they do call for extra patience. So here's where you might get them wrong. Let's take a look. Just like inkjet, laser transfers also need to be printed on thin printer paper. Not cardstock and definitely not photo paper. I tested all kinds of products over the years. Most acrylic mediums and glues can work, including Mod Podge. But matte medium always wins, hands down. It makes the whole process so much easier, more durable, and consistent. I'm not the biggest fan of Mod Podge. One of the main reasons is that it takes longer to cure, and it also leaves a plastic-like kind of finish, and for some reason sometimes it stays tacky forever. But if Mod Podge works great for you, tell me in the comments. I would love to hear what your process looks like. Next laser problem is not waiting long enough. Laser transfers need some time to dry and really bond with the surface. So maybe you're simply not giving it enough time for the transfer to happen. In order to get a good laser transfer, you really need to let it dry between paper removal stages. Then you come back, wet it again, and remove some more paper. And you do it as many times as needed until all the paper is gone. Yes, it's extra, yes, it takes more time, but yes, it's worth it. It's a beautiful process. And finally, everybody's favorite, probably the most unique, but also the most misunderstood process. I'm of course talking about the process I developed, photo transfer with a gel plate. Okay, so let's see what can go wrong with this process. This one is simple. Inkjet won't work here. You need a laser copy printed on standard printer paper. And for best result, your photo should be clear and have high contrast. One of the most important aspects of gel plate transfer is using the right paint. The type of paint you're using for gel transfers makes a big difference. And the medium body paints work the best. Something like Amsterdam Standard Series is a great place to start. So there's a gel printing section in my latest book where you can also find all the information needed about paints that work for a gel photo transfer. If you're interested, there are links to the book below this video. As for the gel plate itself, I can confirm that gel press and Gelli Arts both work great for photo transfer. Also, some homemade plates can work great too. Okay, so next gel transfer issue. You might be simply using too much or too little paint on your gel plate. It might sound a little confusing, but the only way you can get the feel for the right amount of paint to use on your gel plate is going to be determined by you over time with experience. Okay, on to the next issue. Are you giving yourself enough time to experiment with trial and error? Maybe not. Gel transfers aren't difficult, but they do take time to master. It even took me over a month to figure it out and make it work. We'll transfer one of the photos to the gel plate, and then I'll show you different ways to lift the photo off the plate and into another paper. In this case, we're going to use a cardstock paper. Quite easy to do. So make sure you don't rush the process. Give it time, have fun practicing and experimenting. You will get it right, and you will make beautiful monoprints using your own photos. And when it does work, it's like magic, and it's worth every failure and all the time it took to get there. Just beware, it's a very addicting process.
That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a
Remember, every artist messes up. The most important thing is learning what went wrong, and most of all, not giving up and trying again. If you had your own photo transfer disaster, or you have a success story, tell me about it in the comments. I would love to hear about it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful in any way. Thank you so much for watching and for commenting, for sharing, and most of all, thank you for your time. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye. Oh, no, nailed it. I peel away the top layer and why am I screaming? What's that all about? And I let the protective finish, the varnish, do the rest. Inkjet transfer. What did I just say? I don't know. Okay, let's start all over.